Okay, let's start blasting. This is what I've got. I don't have it full yet. I just got it sitting there. Fix to put the weed in there. That's big. This de-waxing column, 1 pound. De-waxing column. Now I'm not going to pack it. I've been packing it, but this is for this end. This is for my other 90 gram de-waxing column. I'm going to use this to put my filters in. So I'm use for my filters. So we get a light on this subject here. So let's put some filters in there. Eventually I'll buy some ones that fit in there, right size, and just coffee filters. And this device column, I've never used this one before, but it's got this funnel right here on the bottom. So basically I'm gonna just pack this whole end right here. I'm gonna pack this full of filter material. It's okay, Derek.
You're recording?
Alright. Just throw these in there. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Let's check this out. Anyway, we'll just drop them in there. And then I'm going to put the filters in there. Now, on my 90 gram, I used this to pack it down real tight. The weed, this one here I'm just using to pack my filter material down. That didn't work out, did it? That didn't work. Maybe if I use the big end. I'm just trying to get my filters down in there on the bottom. That'll work. Alright, this is what I'm going to be blasting. This mixture of stuff CD, keep that one. I only had one of those. If it's real seedy or not real tight bud, I'm gonna blast this. I'll be mixing my weed up when I do my blasting. I'll mix it all up. Got a filter on the bottom. Start dropping the weed down in there. So here's what I'll be blasting. Got too much seeds, it burns bad. Like that one, bad, burn bad. Burns bad. Green Eyed Lady, Doctor Who. I'll be mixing it all up. See how they turned out. This is Super Lemon Haze, real seedy. When I say Super Lemon Haze, they're crosses. So I've crossed them by mistake. I had a female or a male in there and didn't know it. This is my genetics. This is what I'll be blasting. Making some Thc-A Diamonds. And I'm just going to drop it down in there. Put some paper towels. I'll put paper towels in there because I don't want the weed to fall in there. It don't matter. It just makes it cleaner, easier to clean up. Like this one. There's the other one. 90 gram. Small. I'm going to use Super Lemon Haze first. I might have enough for one load. Just with the Super Lemon Haze. So. I'm not going to pack it down tight. I'm not even going to pack it down. I'll put a ramrod in there, but I'm not going to do anything but make sure I don't have empty spaces. Last time I packed it down tight. I mean, not real tight, but I packed it down to where it came out, it's like a plug. So I'm going to loose pack it. Makes sense, so you can get more gas around it. I don't know, I didn't weigh any of this, so I don't know what I'm starting with and what I finish with. This is a 1 pound de-waxing column. I'm not going to pack it down, I'm just pushing it down. Just gently. I should have done that sooner. That way it's all covered. I don't want it tight, I just want it in there. I'm going to pull the vacuum on it. That should compress it down quite a bit. I get some of the stuff I'm blasting here. Super Lemon Haze. This is, I say my genetics, because this is crossed with 6 different others. Blue Cookie, one unknown, Rockfield, Kelly Mist, Super Lemon Haze, Blue Cookie. It's all crossed. Just pushing it down, I'm not packing it. Gently pushing it down. So I thought I was going to mix it, but I've got enough to make one run on Super Lemon Haze on my 1 pound de-waxing column. I won't use all this, but I'll finish it off. See this one blast in here. Get focus in on it. Super Lemon Haze. This one here is real seedy. Got a whole bunch of little white seeds in there, just aggravating the shit. So I'm gonna blast it. It tastes good. Got a good high to it. It's got too much seeds. Okay. Got it filled up to the top. Everything out of seals. Alright. Seal back on. Shower head. Gives even coverage. I'm gonna tighten all these up. Take them back. Pull a vacuum on this with my vacuum pump. I have anything mixed up. This looks kind of big. Let me tighten them all up. Close the top. Open the bottom, put vacuum hose on it, vacuum pump it. I'm gonna turn the vacuum on. You can listen to it. You'll hear it bottom out. Almost. Okay. Now close off the valve. Shut it off. She's vacuumed. This is very important. That way you get that slamming action. Now I gotta do is take this, fill it full of dry ice. Let's sit for about an hour or so, and then I'll put the butane in it. I gotta put dry ice in the sleeve. That'll help de-wax. And I got my cans. I got some cans, so I'm going to fill this up with cans. I do have some bulk, but I've never used it before. Well, I did that one time. Made some. Tried to make some diamonds, but made some shatter with it because it didn't make any diamonds. About to run my cans. This is what I'll be using next. Damn, that's fucking heavy. Anyway. Sad harvest. Itty bitty little plants. But come around winter time, I'll fire back up. 4 months later, I'll have some bigger, better plants. Okay, we're gonna bust up some dry ice and load up the de-waxing column. That thing right there. I gotta send it in a box because I don't trust those legs. One leg feel like it's kind of loose, so I don't trust it. Okay, loaded up dry ice. You should wear goggles, because if a splinter of this dry ice hits your eyeball, you are going to be blind. Big old blocks. Fill the same full. I don't have any gas in this. It's just, we'll fill it full of dry ice. Let's sit for about an hour or so, hour and a half, whatever. And then I'm gonna fill it full of butane. Let's sit for about another 30-40 minutes, and then I'll blast it. Got a vacuum on it right now. Too big. Gotta have freezer gloves on. Have to. Hear that dry ice is squealing on the stainless steel. Long process. Ripped on me. Anyway, I'll shut this off a little bit. It's gonna take me a while. All right, taking almost 2 bags dry ice. That size bag. Anyway. Fill her all the way up to the top. There's no gas in it right now. Just ice. See that down there. Almost made a mistake. Reach my hand down in there. This, if your hand touch, if any part of your body touches this, it will stick. So don't do what I just tried to do. Don't worry about dry ice. Pack her down. So I got this dry ice and keep back in here. Take this blanket, wrap it around it. This is what we got so far. Now I don't have any gas in there right now. I'm letting it freeze. Dry ice. Wrap the blanket around it. Okay. I wrapped it up. That way the dry ice will be able to do its job. No gas in there. Just freezing it right now. Let's sit there for about an hour or so. Come back. I'm using cans because I'm going to get rid of the cans out of my freezer. They're in the sub-zero, so I'm going to put my cans in there, blast it up. Alright, it's 8:33. I just put dry ice on here about 5 minutes ago. I'm going to sit for about an hour, hour and a half, whatever. Has no gas in it right now. I'm letting everything freeze. So I just took all my buds I didn't like out of my room and shoved them in there. So they weren't in the freezer. Really don't matter because by the time you get in there, half the shit's going to be thawed out a little bit, but it's not going to be ice cold. But I think if you let it sit, get real cold, that way when the butane gas hits it, it breaks off those trichomes, I think a lot easier because it'll be brittle. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I was going to dig that out, and I stuck my hand down in there, and I thought, man, hit this sucker, that metal, that'll hurt you. But anyway, it's 8:33 p.m. Started about 6. I'm not sure what time I started. Anyway, that's what I got so far. Then her set. No butane gas. De-waxing column, 1 pound de-waxing column. Got dry ice here. Got this wrapped up. That way it stays colder. That's what I got. Okay. Putting the gas in. Everything's frozen. Touch your fingers to any of this metal, it'll hurt. I'm not sure how many cans it's going to take. Got a sight glass right here. And yes, this is very, very, very cold. So I'm going to swap my hands. The sight glass is real helpful to let me know when all the butane is out of this can. These are partial cans. Half a can, probably. There's 2 cans, about half a can. I always like to get this warm. Shut it off. Shut the can. Push, you can tell by the sound it makes. Shut this off for a little bit. Okay, I'm getting towards the end, I think. But press this down. turn it on. Do not move this without shutting this off. So I got a sight glass right here. Got steady pressure on it. And as you get towards getting full, cans won't have enough pressure in it to push the gas into it. So I stop. Yeah, it's almost at the end. Right now I'm running about 3 pounds of gas. It's harder for the gas to get inside because there's more pressure build up. Turn it off. Release it slowly. Shake it. Some more pressure built up. Push it down. Open it up. Hold this on steady. I shake a lot, so it's hard. If you let your pressure off this can, it's going to go all over the place and right in your face. Should have goggles on. I'm gonna let this sit for about 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and then I'll open it up. Yeah, I think I'm at the end. So it's taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full cans and a half can. And this is about half can for 1 pound de-waxing column. I want to get as much gases in there as possible. Right now my sight glass showing about almost half, quarter way full. Always make sure you're outside. So this is very, very flammable gas. Now you can see my sight glass. It's almost full. Okay, she's full. So I'm sitting at almost 4 pounds of butane. That's what I used. Partial can, and two of those cans were quarter cans. So it's 10:21 at night. Started this probably about 5 o'clock. Anyway, so I got about 4 pounds in there. Alright. Now, very important, do not let any water inside your container. it will contaminate everything and it won't work. You wind up a bunch of shatter. So this is what I do. Put a lid on it. Shove it up in there. This ain't gonna work. Let it off slowly. This is a 1 pound dewaxing column. I put this on there to keep it from getting and whatever that glass is sitting on, it will stick because it's frozen. Sub-zero frozen. And I gotta make sure that don't tilt over on me when it gets full. This is Super Lemon Haze. I'm making some Thc-A Diamonds. Let the pressure off real slowly or else it'll spew out on you. Alright, it's almost full. So I'll stop. Get another jar. And you'll want to open up the top valve to let the rest of it out. This is 1 pound Super Lemon Haze. It'll drip out. Now this is going to be too much for one container, plus what I got out there. So I'm going to go get another one of these containers and put half and half. And then I'm going to set it over in that water. Let it vap out. I'm going to pour half of this into this other jar. This lid is not sealed. And put half of it in here. That way I can evaporate it out. So you gotta give it plenty of room to bubble. So you pour too slow, it'll come out and it goes everywhere. All right. About half and half. Now I'm going to set this in warm water, not boiling hot, well, warm water. So the wind died down a little bit, so put my air on. This is what I got out of my 1 pound dewaxing column. Now I'm going to take this, condense it down into almost a thick syrup. This part you gotta be real careful with. Alright, got my little fan on. Got this warmed up. Gotta be real slow with this. She'll rear up on you fast. Lids are off. Just watch it, because it'll come up on you. That's why I put it in a big jar, because this will boil fast. Do not leave this by itself. Keep your eyes on this all of the time. Take your eyes off it, it's going to come up over, it's going to get you water, and then it's a mess. It's slowly evaporated out. Like I said, lids are on, but just loose. I'm going to let them get down to the consistency of a syrup, and then I'm going to put that into a smaller jar. Making Thc-A Diamonds. It's about 11 o'clock at night, 11:30 at night. Been working on this since about 6 o'clock. Making Thc-A Diamonds. And just let it keep evaporating out. And just let it keep evaporating out. This is 1 pound dewaxing column, my new one I just used. I have a 90 gram, but it takes a long time to smash out this much weed. This is frozen, liquid butane gas. It's a frozen state. We'll let this evaporate all the way down. Then I'll add that into another jar, a smaller single jar. But I'm making Thc-A Diamonds. Starting to. So take your time, evaporate it down to where it's a thick consistency of syrup. Then I'm going to put it into this size jar, wide mouth. You don't want a tall jar, because some fact, diamonds are hard to get out of a tall jar, so this way you get down into the jar easily. Now I'm fixing to join these two together. When you do that, you have to be real careful, because it'll flare up on you. Always remember, do not smoke, do not have any electrical, anything, sparks, nothing. Just let it keep evaporating out. This is 1 pound dewaxing column that I used. It's probably 3/4 pound, maybe a pound. I didn't pack it down tight. I just loosely fit it in there. I usually pack it down. Someone told me don't pack it down. You see in there, you'll see a little piece of ice. And that's ice. You'll see every now and then something looks like debris or something floating around in there. That's ice. This is still frozen gas. Takes a while. But you'll see chunks of ice floating around in there. You do not want to get any water in this mixture at all. I don't know what it is about water, but it totally screws everything up. That's why I got this towel. When I go pour these, I wipe all the moisture off of that before I pour it in there. That way there's no water dripping into this. And this is real important. You got to pour it in there really, really slow. Wipe all the moisture off of this. You do not want any water dripping into your mixture. You pour it slowly. Have a napkin here in case there's any water left. Pour it real slow. Lid's on real loose. Put it back into the water. Just let it evaporate out. You gotta keep your eye on this, because this will flare all the way up and just overflow. Because once it goes up, you ain't stopping it. That's why I got this over here. Just in case I have a flare up, I can put it on this and save some of it. Making Thc-A Diamonds. Did 1 pound open blast with a de-waxing column. First time to use it. I usually have a 90 gram, but get this much material moving, it takes too long. So this is Super Lemon Haze, gonna make Thc-A Diamonds. And if you have to stop for anything, always take this off and set it down somewhere with the lid still loosely on it. That way it won't evaporate so quickly. So I've done that before, taken off, done something, got sidetracked, come back in here. It's a thick goo on the bottom. And that's a bitch to get out of one of these tall ass jars. You see all those little ice particles floating around in there? Alright, still waiting on it. So, this is a bad time because it's like 11:30, something like that, at night. So, you do not want to try to finish up and then go to sleep on this, because you have to release the pressure once you put it in the final container. So if not, you'll blow the lid off. Alright. Still waiting for it to vap out. Emptied out my dry ice. And probably what I'll do, it's being so late at night, and I still got dry ice left, I'm going to go ahead and do a cold crash on this. Means I don't want to have to stay up 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning and then wake up in the morning and have a broken lid. So I'm going to evaporate this down more, put it in one of my smaller jars, put that on top of my dry ice. I'm going to let it sit there 3-4 days, and then I'll put it on the heating pad. Okay, she's pretty well evaporated out, pretty good. And I'm going to transfer it into this jar. So you gotta be careful because this jar is warm. Never let any water hit this. All right. And this is the dangerous part because I don't have much room to for flare-ups. So you gotta be real careful. Gotta keep close on it. Flares up, starts getting too close to the top, take it off. I should evaporate it out a little bit more because it's a little bit too close for comfort for me. So, this is the most important part. Make sure you don't lose anything. Just let it evaporate on down. I can't leave this runny. If you leave it runny, the lid will blow off, guaranteed. It has to be a thick, syrupy, little runny, but not too much. If it has any sort of gas left in there, that lid will come off. This is 1 pound, give or take. I didn't pack my tube. 1 pound de-waxing column, making Thc-A Diamonds. It's 11:43 p.m. I'm gonna wind up evaporating this out down more to where it's thicker, and then I'm gonna put this on my dry ice because if I try to finish this off tonight, I'll probably wind up blowing the lid at the least blow the lid. At the worst, blow a jar. If you blow a jar, that's 1 pound of weed. You cannot touch, you cannot use because it's got shards of glass in it. I'm in a 30 by 60 shop. Door is open, fan on. This is highly explosive. Still evaporating it out. Super Lemon Haze, 1 pound. Making Thc-A Diamonds. I'm gonna go ahead and cold crash this, meaning as soon as I get this down to a little bit thicker consistency, I'm gonna put it on top of the dry ice that I have left. I used to put it in Sub-Zero, but I'm gonna put this in on my dry ice. And then once dry ice is gone, then I'll probably put this, finish it off in my Sub-Zero for about 2 or 3 days. Alright, I'm going to call it good. I mean, I'd like to evaporate a little bit more out, but it's almost midnight. So I'm going to take this in the house, put it in my dry ice, and seal the lid on it. With some dry ice, you can seal the lid because it won't blow up on you because the dry ice gets it cold again and keeps it from evaporating. Okay. That's 1 pound Super lemon haze, still ice cold. So it's midnight. I'm going to cold crash this. Set it on top of my dry ice. Seal the lid. So I blasted this last night. 1 pound de-waxing column. Got the shower head option. Got the sight glass. Gotta have those two. Have to have those two. Take this out. I save all my bud because it's still got stuff in it. Because I usually rinse. I'll run a full blast through, and then I'll do it half again, or another blast. I used to do it twice, but I didn't want to have to switch over different BHO gas. This is all I had was 7 cans of Whippets. Anyway, got my stuff off in the dry ice. But I'll put this in a 5-gallon bucket. I put a lid on it, and I'll either reblast that, or I'll do something with it, cook with it, make rub out of it, or whatever.